Hello, Lisa Hiles here from Perfectly Spoken. How are you? That's good. Thank you for joining me for lesson 11 of my B1 course for intermediate learners, for those of you with an IELTS score of about 4.5. The topic today is rules, rules, rules. And this means the content of the lesson is modal verbs for permission and obligation. We'll be looking at must, have to, mustn't, don't have to, can and can't. And we'll be exploring the difference in meaning and use and form, and we'll have plenty of practice. Okay, sound good? That's good. Let's start the lesson then. Okay, let's have a look at the first task. The first task I'm calling a lead-in task, just to get you ready for a little reading that we're going to do with some rules. Have you ever, question 1, have you ever used a courier? A courier is a person you pay to deliver documents or packages for you. So famous examples of couriers who operate around the world are FedEx, DHL or UPS. Have you ever used a courier? Do you think, number 2, that it's a good job? Why or why not? 3, imagine you are going to start your own courier business. What do you need? Are there any rules or laws to follow? Okay, so for me, if I'm answering these questions, I use a courier quite a lot because I do quite a lot of online shopping. So Amazon comes to my house quite a lot with books or with things for my children. Do I think it's a good job? Yes, I do, actually. If you like driving, I think it's a really good job. You can manage your own time and why not? It's quite an easy job to do if you don't feel stressed when you drive. Imagine you're going to start your own courier business. Well, obviously you need a car of some kind. Some people use bikes, don't they? But I would use a car. And so in that case, I would need to think about insurance for my car. Did you have those ideas? Okay, that's good. Let's look at the next task. The next task is called How to Start a Courier Business in the UK. And you've got to fill in the gaps in the conversation, 1 to 7, with the correct modal verb. Must, mustn't, have to, don't have to, can and can't. Okay, here we go. How to start a courier business in the UK. First, you have a vehicle, a car, a van, or a motorbike. So gap number 1, must, mustn't, have to, don't have to, can or can't. What do you think? This will cost money, but you own the vehicle. You hire a car or a van. Again, think of the gaps. Must, mustn't, have to, don't have to, can or can't. Using a motorbike will limit your customer base because you carry large or heavy items, things on a bike. Let me repeat that. First, you have a vehicle, a car, a van, or a motorbike. This will cost you money, but you own the vehicle. You hire a car or a van. Using a motorbike will limit your customer base because you carry large or heavy items on a bike. You have insurance. If you use your own car, you might pay more when you use it for business. You have enough money for petrol or diesel. Let me just bring my picture of me down a little bit there. Oops, sorry. Let me try and do it from this way so you can see the word here. No, it's not letting me do it. Sorry about that. So number 5, you have insurance. If you use your own car, you might pay more when you use it for business. Number 6, you 7, have enough money for petrol or diesel. Okay. Again, this is task 1 continued for how to start a career business in the UK. So again, we've got to use must, mustn't, have to, don't have to, can or can't. A mobile phone is also necessary so customers contact you while you're out and about. Access to a computer is also important because you keep accurate financial records and you forget to provide customers with a receipt for their goods. Okay, so take your time to fill in gaps 1 to 10 with must, mustn't, have to, don't have to, can and can't. Let's look at the answers, shall we? Okay, number 1, you have to have a vehicle. Number 2, you don't have to own the vehicle. Number 3, you can hire a car or a van. 4, you can't carry large items. 5, you have to have insurance. 6, you might have to pay more. 7, you must have enough money for petrol or diesel. Number 8, you can contact customers. Number 9, you must keep accurate financial records. And number 10, you mustn't forget to provide receipts. How did you do? That's good. Let's have a look at some of the rules, shall we? I've done you a table here, and I hope that you find this useful. This is a table for modal verbs of permission and obligation. So verbs that say that 1, the action is necessary, it's an obligation, and for that we use have to and must. The difference between them we'll come to in a minute. Verbs that say that the action is possible, here we use can. Number 3, the action is not possible, it's against the rules. Here we use can't or mustn't. I'll tell you the difference in a minute. And 4, the action is possible but not necessary. You don't have to. So that's a good table to have in your mind for the rest of the lesson when we're doing these tasks. You can go back to it, okay? Here we go. Differences in meaning. Have to and must have similar meanings. So they both mean something is necessary. Have to is more common when talking about the law or company rules. So you have to have insurance when you drive a car. Have to. Followed by the base form. Yep, have to have insurance. Must means I think it's necessary, but not everybody does. Yep, it's not necessarily the law. I think it's necessary. You must keep accurate financial records, for example, if you're starting a courier business. I think it's necessary. There are some people in the UK who don't keep accurate financial records. Differences in meaning too. Mustn't, don't have to, and can't. Mustn't is used about something that is wrong to do. You mustn't forget to provide receipts. So I think it's wrong to do it. So I would use mustn't. You mustn't forget to provide receipts. Don't have to means that something is not necessary. You can do it if you want to. So you don't have to own a car because you can hire one. You can choose to own a car or you can hire a car if you want to start a courier business. Can't means something is not possible because it's against some other rule. Okay? It's against the law, for example, or a rule. You can't carry large items on a bike. It's not safe. Okay? Here's some practice. Please refer back to the table and refer back to those differences in meaning if you have any problems during this practice. Okay, complete these sentences about running a courier business with a modal verb from today's lesson. Number 1, if you use a van and not a bike, you wear special clothing like a helmet. 2, you pay tax on the money you earn. 3, you enjoy driving or the job will be very stressful. Okay, so we're using must, mustn't, have to, don't have to, can or can't. Just those modal verbs today. Number 4, as soon as you start making a profit, you think about employing another driver. And number 5, you employ a driver without checking that he or she has a valid driving license. Pause the recording to give yourself time to think about the answers. And here they are. Okay, number 1 is don't have to. So if you use a van and not a bike, you don't have to wear special clothing like a helmet. Number 2, you can if you want to, but nobody wears a helmet inside a van. Number 2, have to. It's the law. So you have to pay tax on the money you earn. Number 3, must. I think it's necessary, but it's not the law. You must enjoy driving or the job will be very stressful. As soon as you start making a profit, you can think about employing another driver. Okay, you can think about employing another driver. And 5, you employ a driver without checking that he or she has a valid driving license. You can't, against the law, or mustn't, because it's the wrong thing to do. So both are possible here. I'll just flick back. You can't employ a driver or you mustn't employ a driver without checking that he or she has a valid driving license. Both are possible here. So here once again are the answers to task 2. At this point, if you're having any problems, please go back to the table, go back to the differences in meaning and try again. Here we go, further practice. Another very common place that you will see modal verbs for rules or for permission, obligation are in the workplace. Okay, so read these sentences that you might find on signs at work. Which sentence, A, B or C, has the same meaning as the sign 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5? Okay, so here we've got 1. No entry without a helmet. Does that mean A, you can wear a helmet? B, you must wear a helmet? Or C, you don't have to wear a helmet? No entry without a helmet. A, B or C? The correct answer is B. You must wear a helmet. Number 2. No smoking in this building. A, you can smoke here. B, you don't have to smoke here. And C, you can't smoke here. What do you think? A, B or C? No smoking in this building. The correct answer, of course, is C. You can't smoke here. It's against the rules. 3. Meeting in progress. Do not disturb. A, you mustn't stop the meeting. B, you don't have to stop the meeting. C, you can stop the meeting. Which do you think? The answer is, of course, A. You mustn't stop the meeting. Do not disturb. Okay, 2 more. Number 4, free delivery, postage and packing. A, you can't pay delivery charges. B, you don't have to pay delivery charges. Or C, you mustn't pay delivery charges. Which is correct? B, you don't have to pay delivery charges. And finally, this is something you see in pubs all the time, or in supermarkets actually. Under 25 years old, no ID, no alcoholic drinks. So ID, identification, can be something like your driving license or your passport. Okay? Under 25 years old, no ID, no alcoholic drinks. So what does this mean? If you look under 25, if you look younger than 25, A, we can't serve you alcohol without some form of identification, ID, driving license, passport. We can't serve you alcohol without ID. B, we can serve you alcohol without ID. Or C, we don't have to serve you alcohol without ID. And the answer is A. If you look under 20, if you look younger than 25, because it's not just about your age, obviously it's how you look. If you look younger than 25, we can't serve you alcohol without some form of ID. And there are the answers, B, C, A, B and A. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. At this point, I really recommend that you do the quiz that follows this lesson for extra practice on must, mustn't, have to, don't have to, can and can't. Good luck and see you again soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.